Welcome to the Blue Room post-match for Everton. No, I forgot who was playing now. For Everton 0, Brentford 0. Brentford went down to 10 men early on, and that is the first point Brentford have picked up on the road all season. They've been beaten in every other away game this season. I am joined by Keith, Matt, and Foxy to pick through another 94 minutes of your life that you will never get back. We're going to give you another half hour of your life that you may never get back. Well, you will never get it back, but let's see how it goes. Keith, give me all your hot takes on that one.
If we drag this out for half an hour, then quite frankly, we should be up for some sort of podcasting award, because there is not half an hour's of content here. It was a thing that happened. We were there for the thing that happened, and once the thing had happened, we left. And there's not really much else to say about it. It was bad. It was very, very, very bad. We didn't get beat, which, I mean, can you take any sort of solace from that? Because they did have a couple of breakaways towards the end where I thought, we're losing this.
When it went down to 10 men, it did feel like it had a 93rd minute winner for Brentford all over it.
Oh, big knee slide in front of the park end.
Yeah.
The place where bad things happen. Yeah. Like Mick Greenall put a post out, it was a tweet I think, saying we had 13 shots on goal with an XG of 0.02. Now, as you're all aware, listening to this, my thoughts on XG, it is witchcraft. It shouldn't exist, but it does. So we'll use it as a meter here to say we're not very good at doing the goals, are we?
No. I thought Dwight McNeil was trying to find his range all day. It was like he can only sort of shoot in the way he's directly facing. He can't seem to put any bend on it today or anything. He just hit it straight.
Yeah, he's a straight line shooter.
Yeah.
And maybe he just needs to work on pointing himself towards the goal.
Yeah.
He had a couple
maybe
that
work on his right foot.
Oh God, Jesus! Did he? I'm sure he had one with his right foot that like spooned out for a throw in. Yeah, I don't know. It's very hard to take anything positive from that. Ashley Young wasn't bad.
He's on track to be player of the season for me.
He's doing all right at the moment. I'm not a big fan of his, but he's doing all right. Branthwaite didn't fall to pieces.
Can we get sent off?
Can we take any more?
Rusty. Yeah.
He was a bit rusty, but he wasn't Tarkovsky levels of falling over rusty.
Oh, I've got words.
Well, do you know what? Let's hand over now to Matt for words on Tarkovsky, because I have words as well, but they'd probably get the podcast cancelled.
Well, I've got overall words for the game, but you know what they're going to be. Like, loads of shots, hardly any on target. I don't think we've had that ratio of shots off target to on target for many, many years. I don't know what they were trying to do. Like, they've got big centre halves, obviously, so we can't just cross it in and head it in like we tried to do normally. But even so, try and thread it through the middle, for Christ's sake. 94 minutes of just blazing it over the bar. But when it comes to Tarkovsky, he's meant to be one of our most experienced centre halves. He's meant to be our standing captain. And at least once a game, often twice a game, he just does that stupid foul right on the edge of the box, and it nearly cost us today against 10 men. Like, what's he even doing? He's meant to be the cool head on the shoulders.
He did one on the halfway line as well, where he was lucky to get away. Well, he got away with it because he didn't really take the man out, but it was like it was milliseconds away from being a bad challenge, and he's got one or two in him every game now, hasn't
And
he?
he always walks away from it laughing as if it's a big joke. It's like, don't do that. Just don't do it. You're meant to be like the example to the likes of Branthwaite, and Branthwaite makes him look like a kid.
Yeah. So let's bring Foxy in for some much needed positivity. I tell you what, let's start at the beginning of the game today, because I thought we started okay.
Cars was amazing. It's one of the best cars I've heard.
Well, funnily enough, I thought the atmosphere was strange at the start. It was quite subdued, I thought, from the beginning. Even when the players ran out, I thought it was a little bit weird. To the point where Brentford started singing. So we sing on our own after 18 seconds, which has got to be a record for an away side.
They are good at scoring early, aren't they? But they didn't do that today, so that's a positive. I thought overall, I'm not wearing my Dyche t-shirt today. I've taken to removing my Dyche t-shirt.
He's got to go.
It's over.
He's got.
Yeah, it's gone. Freaking should read into this what they will. I thought there's a very Dyche game, very structural throughout, very little creativity, and I tried his best to thread stuff through. Lindstrom, what is Lindstrom? If Lindstrom is the answer, what is the question? It's kind of Just like
It was not Jack Harrison.
probably right. But just the amount of times we were sat on his side second half, and the amount of times he had 10 yards on the fullback, and he cut back to Ashley Young. Like if he had within Dye, he'll kind of try stuff. He'll have a bit of bravery, take on. It might not work, but he tries. Lindstrom is playing so much within himself. He just doesn't.
Do you think this could be a thing with modern wingers? I'm going to sound like the old man yelling at a cloud here,
Go
but
for it.
you get a lot of modern wingers now who want to play on the opposite side. To like, if the left footed, they play on the right, and vice versa, because they want to cut in.
Yeah.
And that's it. And you don't get many wingers now who want to get it to the. I mean, I know we hit a lot of crosses in today, but by and large, you don't get a lot of wingers who want to get to the byline and cross it in. That could be a feature of this, which is, I don't know. You really should be able to do both. I think
so. 'Cause I think he's got a bit of pace. The amount of times he had it, the fullback 10 yards off him, just put it on the outside, take him past, get to the
foul.
byline, cut it back, create something. But it was just nothing, absolutely nothing from him. I'm probably going to have a bit of a go at Calvert-Lewin as well. Like the contrast between Calvert-Lewin and Beto. I mean, I like Calvert-Lewin. I would like him to sign a new contract, but he was awful today. It was just lack of interest, disengaged.
Yeah, completely. There's no movement.
No. But Beto came on, and Beto looked like a proper forward. And I'm saying that about Beto. But I'm saying that about Beto. It's all relative, right?
Comparatively speaking.
Yeah, he looked like an actual footballer compared to
He
DCL.
looked energetic. That's as generous as I'm going to be here.
But one more thing than Calvert-Lewin was, right? Calvert-Lewin was just...
I think as well, I think there's a general malaise. I'm going to say there's a general malaise across the team. I think, as I said, the first probably 15 minutes or so, we were all right. We were sort of on the front foot. We were closing them down quite well. And I thought we started the game pretty well. But then after that, when we hadn't scored and we kind of started dropping back, and then they weren't suddenly playing it out of their own area. They were passing it round on the edge of the 18-yard box and towards our half. And it's like, we just sit back and back then. And then, I think had they not had the red card, they could have put a lot more pressure on us, because we just would have sat further.
Oh, they would have won. They would have easily won if they hadn't gone down to 7 men. Easily.
Yeah. Did anyone? I didn't actually see. I was very surprised with the red card. I've seen a still of it, and it looked horrific. Was it bad?
Yeah, because where the ball was coming in, even if Pickford wasn't there, he wasn't going to make contact on the ball. He's gone in to do him. Like, the ball is about 1.5 foot above where the fouling player's feet are. Yeah. He's just flown in with his legs flying, and he's just gone to do him. He's tried to be a clever Amanard cunt.
The referee was an absolute tease with the VAR as well, wasn't he? Because he ran over and he took an age to do that little TV sign, didn't he? He took ages to do it. It was like, he's not going to give this, he's not going to give this.
I think he was waiting for the player to play his attention.
It was top celebrity referee.
It was incredible.
Puffed his chest up. That was his moment. He was going to shine. Just for those who are listening live, which is none of you, Spurs have just opened the scoring against Man City, so the Reds are winning the league and we're going down.
I mean, this
Happy Christmas.
This is how it ends, isn't it? This is like the ultimate Everton ending. But anyway,
this is Christmas.
Back to the game. Let's go from.
Well, there's still hope. I watched Threads last night, and there is still hope that we will die in a wave of nuclear fire before the end of the season.
Well, if you look at that thing that's doing the rounds again on Twitter, Liverpool is the #1 target apparently for a Russian nuke. So
straight in the middle of the new ground.
Oh God, yes, without a doubt. Yeah,
first game of the season.
Stitch that, USN.
Also, that programme, it's set in the last week of May 1984.
Oh my God!
In Threads, the UK literally gets nuked when we win our first trophy in 14 years.
Incredible. I mean, it's amazing it didn't happen. But anyway, back to the game. So they go
down to just drag us way off course, because there's nothing else to say.
There's not much else to talk about.
What's your favourite TV programme at the moment, Les?
I really enjoy Penguin, to be honest. The Penguin was really good.
Colin Farrell, very, very, very good in that.
Have you seen him in costume, but talking his normal voice? It's so weird.
Yeah. He had a little twang of Tony Soprano there as well, I think, in his performance. Yeah. It was good. Anyway, back to the game. So when they went down to 10 men, I thought there was a certain inevitability that Everton would make really, really hard work of it, because the pressure then was on Dice to do something. It's like, right, they're down to 10 men. We've got an extra man at some point on the pitch here.
At home.
You've got them. And again, like I say, they've not won away. They've not picked up a point away until today, all season. You've got to do something to really take the game to them. And just rip them apart like they undoubtedly would have done to us if we'd have gone down to 10 men. and he just did the same thing.
What I will say, right, he made the right subs. Those subs were good subs in the context of the game, in trying to win the game, but he waited 25 minutes to do it.
Oh,
Do it on 60.
Just quickly on that before we go on to that. I was meant to pick up on Decore playing instead of Mangala.
Right, no, don't because again we will get the podcast cancelled.
That was a strange decision, wasn't it?
Like, legitimately, I cannot understand why he tries so hard on a weekly basis to shoehorn Decore into the starting 11, because he offers nothing going forward. He's slow, he's ponderous, he can't pick the quick pass, he can't carry the ball 30, 40 yards up the pitch. He offers nothing defensively, he's out of position. When he does get in position, he's rash, he dives in, he won't stand a man up. I don't know what he offers the team at this point. I mean, it could be that you bring him on with 10 minutes to go in a game where you're winning for a bit of height to defend corners and free kicks, maybe. Who knows? The decision to start him over Mangala. I mean, Mangala wasn't great when he came on, but he was positive. He was on the front foot. He tried to do things going forward.
That bit where he fell over and kept the ball somehow in amidst 3 players was dead funny.
Yeah.
I didn't. Sorry, I didn't get the foul. He got fouled 3 times. Didn't get the foul. Got back up, and then the fella just jumped across him, got the free kick.
While we're on the midfield, I will say he's been very good this season. Idrissa Gueye, he was dreadful today. I have never seen a player pass to the opposing team so many times in a 90-minute period. There was
one in the second half, wasn't there? Where he literally just had to play the ball slightly to his right, and he just played it straight ahead.
It was an absolute disaster class, and he keeps shooting as well. He had one shot that I think was on target.
Yeah, it was a good shot.
Right? Was it a good shot? Because when you see the replay, the goalkeeper probably could have stood there, caught it, put his hat on it, maybe sat down and caught it as well. It wasn't that good a shot. It was straight at him, but he punched it over for a corner. Got to get those TV saves in, haven't you?
Yeah.
But that was his worst game of the season for me. I thought he was very poor today.
I thought again he was another one who he did all right first 10-15 and then just dropped off a cliff.
I wouldn't be saying along the lines of drop him, because he has been good this season. He has been probably one of our more positive players. But you cannot play him alongside Decore.
No.
That is an axis of awful, and it needs binning. It's unfathomable. It's not sustainable moving forward.
An axis of evil, and get Dice up in the Hague for war crimes. Foxy, you've got a quick point on Decore, I think.
Yeah, just my rationale for Decore. I think he's 5 inches taller than Garnegay or Mangala. That's the only reason. I think he wants 4 tall players in the team. So you got Tarkowski, Branthwaite, Calvert-Lewin, Decore. That's why he plays. There's no footballing reason to actually pass the ball, control the ball, give it to your own teammate, do something good. There's no reason other than he's a bit taller than the others. Yeah. If the others could grow a bit, they would be playing.
They're not Dice height. Paul Dargan's joined us.
Hi, I was just going to add into that. They could go, this is to get Keith's axis of evil joke in. They could go on a rack to be stretched, to be taller.
We actually went to see a stand-up last night, me, Matt and Paul, and I think I don't think Paul's quite got over it, have you?
Absolutely incredible.
Well, come on then, Paul, bring us your hot takes on the game, because we ain't got any.
See, I've just walked back to town, so my son Tom, who was on probably last Newcastle game, wasn't he? Wasn't there today. So I've just been able to walk into town on my own, recollecting my thoughts, picking myself up out of the puddles that Luke Skywalker meets Yoda in, because it's been raining that much today, and it felt like the players were just like running through those same bogs themselves. There didn't seem to be urgency.
Do you think? So the thing that I find weird is Dice has been on the back foot from day one this season. he sort of talked everything down. I saw
That's his management style as
yeah,
well.
but I saw a bit of an interview with the Chelsea manager, and he was like, you know what, I love this group of players. I'm really excited by them, and he talks it up when that's been a bin fire for the last 2 seasons that he's walked into. But he's talking it up and bringing out the positives. Dyche just hasn't done that, and it's got to it gets to us in the ground.
Yes.
Because you get there, and we talked about it often. That you get there, you know exactly what's going to happen. Like I said before, they went down to 10 men. You knew we were going to make hard work of it. We made harder work than I thought because we drew it ultimately. At least we didn't get beat. But it's got to be, on him, that isn't it? He's bringing everything down. Like you've got half decent players there that you can do some stuff with, and he's just not doing it. And he's bringing everything down to I'm doing all right here in the circumstances, and that doesn't wash this season, does it?
No, as you've said, from day one, he came in knowing full well what the challenge was, but using that as his safety net. If nothing works, don't blame me, blame the mess you were in the first place. I'm sorry, but nobody forced you to take this challenge either, so don't use that as an excuse. He's turning into a bit of an Allardyce manager now, I think, where his CV he's going to build it on. Look at those last 5 games at the end of the season. I've kept them up twice, and he'd have had points deductions, and basically, you needed me, I didn't need you. Well, he's not really filling it with, the CV's not glowing at the moment with 1 win at home in the last season at Goodison. We know, we already knew the problems before he come in. And I think when you're playing those players week in, week out, who aren't under pressure, so they can make mistakes, they can miss chance after chance, they can misplace passes like Garner and stuff. And let's be fair, Garner Gay all the time, in his first spell at the club, was never the greatest passer of a ball. His interceptions and the tackling rate was good because he was winning back the ball that he gave away, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Said this when we signed him back.
You know what I mean? But and also the last thing I'm going to say, is that when a team goes down, especially a team that have you even collected a point away from home before today? Yeah. So they go down to 10 men in the first half. You go 2 up top immediately. I don't know if anyone else has said that.
Half time.
Well, pretty much. Yeah, you have to be doing that. And when, as Keith said, I agree. He made the right subs at the wrong time, but that is constant for me. That's peace out.
We are 17 minutes through this podcast. Congratulations to anyone who's still listening. This podcast is the equivalent of how Abdoulaye Doucouré runs until he got subbed, and he was like fucking lightning getting off the pitch there. I've never seen him move so fast. Foxy.
Yeah, just picking up on a point from Paul. I think in terms of Dyche, he served a purpose. So last year we needed a Dyche type person to keep us up with all the crap that's going on all over the place with penalties and the club. He served the purpose now. We've got the hopefully bright new horizon coming through. Positivity. Whoop whoop.
Just remind
New
me
stadium. Freakins. He served the purpose now. So it's time when they come in to do something different.
His time's limited, isn't it? Just to, again, to update the live listeners who aren't actually listening live because we don't have that facility. Man City are now 2-0 down at home to Spurs. So the Reds are winning the league. The bad thing is happening. The thing that we've put off for so long is actually happening.
Matt, what's your favourite box set at the minute?
Can we? Yeah, let's just diverse into box sets, shall we? I've started watching that Cross on Amazon Prime. Now I'm a big fan of the James Patterson books about Alex Cross, but the lead character who plays Alex Cross has to be the worst actor I have ever seen in my life. He's dreadful. God bless him. He's trying. Let's keep it topical. No, seriously. The lads have touched on a very good point there. Dyche is not the manager we need right now. But to pose a question that might push us beyond the half-hour mark and meet our targets in terms of marketing and contracts with our sponsors and whatnot.
Oh, speaking of which, yes, so we are outside the Denby Castle recording this.
We are. God bless the Denby Castle. It is a haven in these dark times. What do Everton need?
Well,
what do Everton need as a manager? Because long term. Would you say David Moyes long term? Yeah. I mean, we've had a David Moyes long term, and we saw towards the last few years, he tailed right off, and we had dreadful negative.
The last
I mean,
season of some of the best football I ever played under him.
built 2 or 3 squads, I thought. But I know what
but
you mean, Keith. I do know what
we
you mean.
That's
also
the squad
had
that was
points.
inherited by one of the worst footballing war criminals in history, and he nearly got them in the Champions League before he stamped his authority on it and sent them 11 twice.
But we also had a team that went 1-0 down away to Arsenal, and he took off the lone striker and put on centre half. So, I mean, it's incredibly Dychean. Has he learned from it? I mean, fair play to him. I was
Man's
so
won a
made
European
up.
trophy.
I was so made up for him to win that trophy with West Ham, because it finally put to bed the Charity Shield memes. Bless him, because that was the only pot he'd won up until then. I don't think I would take David Moyes right now until the end of the season as a stopgap to make Everton functional again. Like, acceptable. Like we would at least have maybe a little bit of fun with it until long term, I wouldn't have David Moyes. Really, I'm crying out for just one season of Jose Mourinho as Everton manager, because it would be box office. We'd either win the league by 20 points or cease to exist as an organisation, and there is no in between. And do you know what? I would take either of them. I would be happy with either eventuality. The man is box office.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I've sort of flip-flopped between having Mourinho and not. I mean, like we've got a choice. But I do think now, after today, that haven't been the worst game I've seen this season for the 5th time. I think I'm like, I'll just take any insanity now. Matt, do the club or someone at the club or whoever's buying the club, do they need to make a decision now on this? Because I think you put in the group and it broke my heart, because it's like you've given up. And you've never given up, but you've given up now because you said, what's the point of Dyche?
Yeah, well, the exact line I said was, there's no reason to keep him now. Like, you can't say, well, maybe this will happen, maybe this will happen. It's like, but it just won't, will it?
No.
Like, you can't expect him to pull rabbits out of hats. Like, because he's, over the next month, he's going to have to pull, like, them giant European rabbits out of, like, a child's baseball cap. It's just not going to happen, is it?
No, because I mean, today was the perfect chance, really, wasn't it, for him to do something? It's like, you've got a man over here. You can do something with this squad, surely, to like go at a mid-table team who haven't won, who got beat every away game we played this season, and he did nothing.
The problem is the rabbits that Sean Dyche is pulling at the moment are the ones from Watership Down.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah,
Myxomatosis riddled bunnies. Yeah.
They are destroying the lives of the toddlers that own them and love them.
What he really wants, though, is a hair.
Is that a ball choke?
Well, tell you what, let's pick up on that.
Let's keep it up. Let's have 5 minutes on Dyche being bold.
But he's
He's
not.
very, very bold. But by choice.
But exactly.
Choice, he's the worst kind of ball.
Yeah, he is.
So I don't accept him to my bold fraternity.
Well, you shouldn't.
I don't.
He's a bold pretender.
George Costanza did not accept Elaine Swimmer,
Like
so
Chrissy Hine,
we should not
skinny.
accept Dyche's boldness. Foxy, have you got anything to bring to the conversation? Because we're going off the rails here. I'm sorry.
What's the conversation?
I don't know. We still want to talk about
you have a rabbit
Brentford
when you were a
today,
kid?
maybe.
La Pan.
Talk us through your first pet's death.
It was
Just to cheer us up.
It was brutal. So going back to football managers,
Yeah.
why not? Dyche showed he's not very good at managing football today in terms of what he could do in a game. I also thought there was quite a lot of interest around Thomas Frank for Everton. I thought, if that is that Thomas Frank auditioning for Everton, that was really poor.
It was hardly Roberto Martinez, was it?
Yeah, it's like, pass it back to the back, don't do anything. First 50 minutes, like you said earlier, they were very, very average against us. So I'm not totally sold on him for future, whatever we do. I quite like the idea of Moyes coming in. One thought I had was whether Moyes comes in for like 18 months or say, then becomes director of football, because we know he's quite good at that
I'd
buying
be happy with
and then
that.
brings in and actually
Yeah, yeah.
controls the
Oh,
club.
this is a twist.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this.
Here we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
we've gone galaxy brain here.
Sorry. I revert.
No, but I think
Has
that is.
anyone seen Vikings?
But it's kind of, if you look at Roma, so they've got Ranieri coming in, and end of the season he's going to do some senior football directoring.
That would make a lot of
whatever
sense.
those people do. Moyes coming doing that for us, and then picking the managers.
It would make a lot of sense.
Because he is good at football, Moyes.
It would get rid of Kevin Thelwell and his awful jumpers. The man, look, every single picture of Kevin Thelwell, the man has terrible jumpers.
He loves a quarter zip, doesn't he?
Outrageous.
Just looked over at Paul, who was wearing a quarter zip. You've come dressed as Kevin Thelwell.
The man is so heavily linked in. It's not even funny.
Oh, so Sean Dyche though, isn't he? He's so high performance, it hurts.
Yeah.
Like Jake Humphries.
Oh.
He will go to extreme lengths to defend the V.
Oh God, yeah. Right, lads, we've done nearly 26 minutes here, so let's wrap it up. We're not under contract to do 30. No one else is listening now, surely. So basically,
If you are still listening at this stage, please tweet or the new app, the Blue Sky one, the Blue Room account, and let us know how far you got into this podcast. And if you reach this stage, then God bless you. We'll have you on next week for a chat about Everton.
There's a pint in the Denby. Where we're recording from today, there's a pint in the Denby for you if you're still listening.
Lovely little throw in there.
I didn't say I'd pay for it.
There is technically a pint in the Denby.
Well, yeah, exactly.
You just have to buy it.
Well, I'll just go round everyone one by one. Foxy, I'll come to you first because you got the microphone. That was dreadful today, wasn't it? Where do we go before next week?
Point a game for a bit. Freakins come in, get rid of him, start again.
How many points between now and New Year? I said 5 on Monday, including today. So I'm one into it.
7.
7. Go ahead, Keith. Wait.
I have no idea what the fixtures are. I just know they're going to be bad. I know it's going to be painful to watch. Can we nudge Vladimir Putin into nuclear holocaust? Can we tip him over the edge in that time? I'm game for trying. I will go to Moscow and say, have you heard what Keir Starmer's been saying about you, mate? Called you a baldy slap. Are you going to take that? Go and sort him out, mate.
I was just going to say, in terms of the fixture in December, just name a team in the top half that would absolutely leather us 5-0. And I'll tell you if we're playing them.
I mean, all of them.
Yeah.
Literally all of them.
Yeah.
Who have we got? We got United next.
Yeah.
Then we got Wolves midweek. Who?
That's the only forgiving game, I think.
No. Wolves are terrible, and they've won 4-1 away today. Then we got the derby. God help us. Why wasn't last season's derby the ball? We hardly touched the ball. The last derby at Goodison. Quite frankly,
get the game
20
abandoned.
minutes after the end of that game, they should have started demolishing Goodison. Just start knocking it down. That's it, right? That's it. We're taking our ball. We're going home. That was the point, to knock it on the head. Instead, the last derby at Goodison is going to be another 5-0.
To send them 18 points clear.
Yeah.
And that Fash goalkeeper will probably score as well. The big spotty freak.
Matt, what do we do before next week?
Embrace the darkness.
Work on some of those.
Descend.
Work on some of those sweet corner routines we saw today.
No, just descend.
My God, that one. Right, this is going to take us over the half-hour mark here. That one where Lindstrom played it short to Mikolenko, who then gave the ball away, and they all just fell over. How long have you been working on that, lads? That was a masterpiece in what not to do. My God, I should have gone home at that stage. Because I was never going to come back from there.
Paul, any final uplifting words? Oh my God, I'm coming to you for final uplifting words. Go on.
Oh my God, yeah.
Descend.
Talk us through your quarters,
It is unzipped right to the bottom of the quarter because it's
Racy.
It looks warm.
showing a bit of hair at the top here,
bit
which
of neck
Dyche
cleavage.
But yeah, before next week, I have no idea. Maybe they do some training because it doesn't look like they've done any for the past 2 years. Any of those routines? Can they learn not to take a set piece that goes straight into the goalkeeper's hands? Can they pass balls to the same colour shirt that they're wearing on the team?
Talking of training, can they actually play football for a little bit in training rather than just running up and down big hills to get dice fit?
And there's your axis of evil out there. I ran.
Son, point of order.
I'm out.
It was
Flock of seagulls.
It was not the axis of evil. It was the axis of awful,
It was.
which is worse, much, much worse. God bless us all.
And on that bombshell, which has taken us up to 29:54, this is like the New Year countdown here. We've got like 3, 2, 1, 30! There we go. We made the 30 minutes mark. Thanks for everyone who is still listening. We love you all. You know that. We'll be back talking about this shite again next week. But yeah, keep it with the Blue Room. Up the toffees.